Namaste students, this is Bhavani Shankar. In our last video, we discussed about the introduction of the chapter Resource and Development. We are discussing Geography chapter number 1, Resource and Development of class 10. In our previous video, we discussed about the introduction or the definition of resource. And in this video, we are going to discuss the types of resources, the classification of resources. So, resources are classified on several bases. There is a several way to classify the resources based on the criteria. The first one, that is on the basis of origin. And on the basis of origin, resources are classified into biotic resources and abiotic resources. Resources are classified into biotic resources and abiotic resources. Biotic resources, students, as its name indicating bio means life. Bio means life. The meaning of the word bio means life. So these are those resources which having life, or we can say these are living resources. So all the animals, plants are living resources. So these are biotic resources. Some students are now thinking that how human are resource. So human is a resource because we have skill and knowledge to convert any physical object into resource. That's why human in itself are resource. The second one, that is abiotic resource, just opposite to biotic, just opposite to the word biotic, abiotic. Abiotic resources are those resources which are non-living resources, not having life. So these are resources. There are several types of resources included in this type, like soil not having life, rocks, minerals. These are resources came under the category of abiotic resources. So this is all about the classification of resources on the basis of origin. Now the next one, student, on the basis of exhaustibility. So first, what is the meaning of exhaustibility? Exhaustibility means depletion. The meaning of exhaustibility is depletion or state of being exhaustion, that something being used up. On the basis of exhaustibility, you can see that resources are classified into two. First one, that is renewable resources, and the second one is non-renewable resources. As its name indicating, the renewable resource, it means that these resources regenerated, these resources reproduced after use. So these are renewable resources. Solar energy, wind energy are the examples of renewable resources, students. So we can use the solar energy, the conversion of sunlight into electricity we used, and after that this energy reproduced. The second one, that is non-renewable resources. Non-renewable means that can't be renewed or reproduced, or we can say replenished. So these resources includes the fossil fuels like petroleum, coal. So these fossil fuels, although these fossil fuels are regenerated, but it takes a very long geological time. That's why these resources are included under non-renewable resources. So this is all about the type of the resources or the classification of resources on the basis of exhaustibility. Now, student, the next one, that is on the basis of ownership. That who owned that particular resource, this is the next classification. So you can see on the basis of ownership, the resources are classified into four. The first one, that is individual resources. The second one, that is community owned resources. The third one, that is national resources, and the last one, that is fourth one, which is international resources. So students, let's start with individual resources. So this include those resources which are owned by an individual, a particular person, like my bike. We are saying my bike because this bike, the ownership of bike, who is the owner of bike? I. That's why my bike. So this is individual resource. Our home is an individual resource. Our plots, we can say farm is an individual resource of farmer. The next one, that is community owned resources. Community owned resource, as its name indicating, community. that these are those resources which are accessible or available for all the members of the community. This not belong to a particular person, this belong to a particular community. Like burial grounds of a particular community or particular, we can say, caste. So these are only available, this burial ground is only available for the members of that particular community, not for all, not for all. So this is the example of community owned resources. Okay, if I am take the example in rural area, then the grazing grounds near the villages, grazing grounds in the villages which are accessible to all the members of the village, all the person who are living in the village, not for the all or the near villages people. So grazing ground is also example of community owned resources. Now you can see the third one, that is national resources. Students, here I want to say you that all the resources which are available in a territory of a particular country are national resources. All the resources are national resources technically. Technically, all the resources are national resources, although it includes train. We are saying that train is not an individual resource, train is not a community owned resource, train is a national resource. Railway is a national resource. It is accessible to all. Next example, we can say forest. Forest not belong to a particular person, forest not belong to a particular community, forest is a national resource. And in addition to it, territorial water. Territorial water. What do you understand by territorial water? The water up to 12 nautical miles. The water from the coast up to 12 nautical miles. What is the meaning of nautical, student? Nautical is the unit. The nautical is the unit to measure the oceanic water. That is the unit to measure the oceanic water. And I want to say that up to 12 nautical miles, the oceanic water territory belongs to the particular country. So that is also came under the category of national resources. Now the last one, that is international resources. International resources include the resources beyond the 200 kilometer of oceanic water. 200 kilometer of oceanic water. That oceanic water not belong to a particular nation, a particular country. So these are international resources, and there are several organizations who regulate that who use these resources or how to use this resource. So this is all about the classification of resources based on ownership. Now student, the last classification, which is based on the development, on the basis of development, you can see the resources are classified into potential resources, second one developed resources, third one stock, and fourth one reserve. Potential resources, as its name indicating, potential means ability. These resources are available in an area. These resources are available in a region, and we are using these resources, but we are using less than their ability. We are using, but not at a small scale. We are not using at that large scale. हम जितना use करना चाहिए उतना use नहीं कर रहे हैं. We are not using at that large scale. We are using at a small scale. For example, Western Rajasthan have enormous potential to use solar energy, wind energy, but we are not using at that level, at that large scale. We are not using. So these came under the potential resources. Potential resources are those resources which are found in a region, but we are not utilizing at large scale. That is the meaning of potential resources. Now the next one, that is developed resources. Students, these are actual resources. Developed resources are actual resources because we know everything about it. Developed, we know about the quantity of this resource, we know about the quality of this resource, we know about the technology, how to use this resource, we know everything. So these resources are also known as actual resources. So we can say a coal deposit of an area, and we are extracting this coal. So these came under the category of developed resources. Now student, that's next one, that is stock. Stock is those resources which are found and we know about it, but we don't have technology right now to use it. We don't have technology to use it. So this came under the stock, that in future when we know about the technology, at that time this physical object convert into resource. So we say this resource as stock. And the last one, that is reserve. The last one, that is reserve. Reserve are those resources which are available, we know about it, we have technology to use it, but we are not using right now. Like river water, hydel power projects, hydel power project in which the electricity is generated by using the running water, by means of running water. But we are right now not using, because we will use in future to meet the future requirements. We use this resource to meet the future requirements. Right now we don't have need. That's why we are not using this resource, but we use in future. So that come under the reserve. I here explain the example of hydro power generation of running water. So this is all about the types of resources, students. We classified resources first on the basis of origin, thereafter exhaustibility. I discussed with you about the meaning of exhaustibility, that exhaustibility means depletion, state of being exhaust, something being used up. After that we discussed the resources on the basis of ownership, who own these resources, like individual. If it is privately owned by individual, then it is individual resource. If it is for all the members of a particular community, then it is community owned resource. And technically all the resources, we discussed that all the resources are national resources. And at last we discussed the resources on the basis of development. Okay student, I hope you understand. Thank you so much. Namaste.